Well, Speaker Paul Ryan halting a bipartisan push to force immigration votes, announcing that the House will consider two bills on DACA and border security next week. Now, this marks the first time that it is taking up legislation to protect Dreamers. But is Congress rushing a vote for the sake of passing a bill? Here to debate, GOP strategist Boyd Matheson and Johns Hopkins University professor Wendy Osefo. Thank you both for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks, Heather.
So, Boyd, I'll start with you. You know, there's this question of whether or not they are rushing this, but we seem to have been hearing about DACA, immigration, these votes for a while now. So I think for people at home to hear that this is actually the first time they're voting on it maybe comes as a surprise, in the House at least.
Yeah, and while it does feel a little rush at this point in the program, it is long overdue. And it's one of those where I firmly believe that we can get immigration done on the floor of the House and the Senate. But there are too many people on the left and the right who want to use this as a political issue, use it to raise countless millions of dollars of campaign funds and try to win elections off of. So I'm glad it's getting to the floor. I hope it's a debate, and I hope it sparks a bigger debate so that we can actually get immigration done. And everybody agrees. Everyone agrees.
Yeah, well, something that a lot of folks did agree on was this move for this discharge procedure or petition, and it was going to force a vote on something that's actually a more popular version of this, supported by some Republicans, all Democrats. Wendy, what do you think about that failing and then moving forward with these two possibilities next week instead?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, with that position moving forward, and also with the comments made by Boyd, I think that this is long overdue. But where I think that we have to be cautious here is to use the lives of millions of individuals as a political pawn right before the midterms has to be a red flag for individuals, whether you're on the right or the left side of the aisle. So what we're looking at here is, you know, they're going to put forth this vote, but then the question becomes, will this even go up to the Senate floor, and will the Senate take this up? But more importantly, will this be something that the president, if it gets to his desk, will sign? So again, it seems as though this is rushed. It seems as though this is a political move because the midterms are coming up and people want to get those points. But I'm not sure that this is going to have long-standing effects for those people who it impacts the most.
You know, Boyd, I'm glad that she mentioned there, Wendy, that this was left and right, both using this as a political pawn approaching the midterms. And really, it seems that neither side wants to actually vote and move forward because they want to be able to use it. Do you think that if it gets to President Trump's desk, he'll sign it?
Yeah, the big thing is you have to force the issue. People on both sides of the aisle in the House, and particularly in the Senate. Wendy's right, the Senate's the real problem here. And they keep telling us that, well, this person won't sign it, or we can't get it through the Senate, or the president's going to veto it. Force the issue. That's what they were sent to Washington to do. They were sent to Washington to vote, debate, amend, compromise, and get the people's business done. And that's the message that all voters should be sending to their members of Congress is, we're not going to settle anymore. Don't keep telling us that this is hard. Don't keep telling us that this is just the way it is, or it's just a vote to have a vote. No, force the vote, and if the president's going to veto it, great, let's veto it, then let's amend it, fix it, and send it back, and actually have the debate in front of the American people.
Right. Wouldn't you like to be able to put off your responsibilities at work until the next year and the next year and the next year? All right. Thank you both for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you
Heather.
so much, Heather.